What's up, everyone? Just here, I got a desk full of different traps here that I've tinkered with and messed around with. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about benefits of modifying, or I guess actually the downside of modifying compared to just buying a trap that, they come modified already, or, like your Pro Series style traps that Duke makes now, or like your modified Bridgers, or your MB traps, your no BS, or like a little bit higher pricey trap, a Jake trap. But and also, there are some benefits to it. If you enjoy doing it, it's a fun hobby, modifying traps. I love modifying traps. Do I use the traps that I modify? Not really. Just to be honest, I have found two traps that I really, really like, and they fit my style of trapping the best, and they have given me the best results. I'm confident with them, and that's a real important thing in my eyes. And my thoughts on, what can make you a better trapper is the amount of confidence you have while doing it. And I mentioned it 1,000 times in my videos. That's the No BS Extreme, or the Juniors. They just give me the highest confidence with my setting and my sets and the way I put them in and everything from start to finish. It's a trap that works real well for me, and it's just much easier to just use the same trap over and over and over, so you get that repetition and that same result over and over and over again. As far as I canine trap and beaver trap mainly. I don't do a lot of water trapping. So if I did a lot of water trapping, then I, would, since I had the best luck with that brand of trap, I would probably get their brand of trap as far as like a 1.5 or like a dog proof style. And but I don't do that type of trapping that much. Every now and then I'll go and catch a few muskrats, but I mainly just trap canines and beavers. So I have a boatload of them traps, and they work for both them animals in my case. But so modifying a trap, like I said, benefits is it's enjoyable. At least it is to me. And you probably get a little more pride into your trap and you using it, because you have modified that trap to your needing, and also it built your confidence because you felt like you made a better trap for you out on the trap line. So that would definitely boost that confidence up in a trapper. I see it on the forums and stuff like that, why spend, $30 or, $25 or, $22 when, I can buy a couple dozen of these, modify them, and be saving money. Not to hurt anyone's feelings in that, but I call BS on that. That is not saving you money by fully modifying a lower cost trap. By the time you do all that modifying to it, and yeah, go ahead, call your time free, even at that. Your welding material, just the foot of chain, the 3 swivels, the base plate, and if you were to laminate them, you're right up there to the same price of the traps that are already sold out there on the market modified. Now, if you ain't got the means of modifying a trap and you buy, you know, a couple dozen and you send them off to someone to have modified, there's a few people out there that do that, myself included in that. You're definitely going to be well above that, and you know, per trap price as far as the modifying that. But there, like I said, there is that benefit of it's giving you confidence. So by all means, if that's what gives you confidence, then buy your traps, have your traps modified, or modify your traps. And that's the most important thing, I think, because I mean, let's get real now with the way the fur markets are and everything. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much gain from trapping other than the management standpoints behind it, and you know, and what it's doing for the wildlife and even, you know, the community around it. But I just myself, I love modifying traps. I don't use a bunch of the traps that I modify, you know. I mean, that's, like I said, that's just the truth behind it. I'd be lying if I'd say like, oh, yeah, I absolutely love using these traps. Well, I've used them just to test out if the modifications, you know, did they improve that trap significant enough to balance out what it costs to do it and the time it takes to do it. And it does, because like I said, you know, even this one has stock pan on it, and it's base plated and center swiveled, but even without the base plate, it's a round jaw trap, so that side swiveled more than perfect for it. You know, like this one here is located on the side, you know. I mean, that's a great benefit to a round jaw, closed jaw trap, is that side mount swivel. But just a simple little modification to this trap that makes this trap like a whole nother animal is simply swapping out that pan bolt. And I pull mine out and I drill them out, and I put a 1/4 through them, and there's no pan drop in there at all. Any movement on that pan, that trap is now firing, and the pan's night latched. And then close the eye on the dog. You know, those are simple ones that, you know, anyone could do as long as you got a drill gun and a file. And that benefits that trap right off the bat. Now that is saving you money there, because that trap's going to work flawlessly. Now it's not going to have that pan creep, and you know, you got your new chain. If you don't like that twist link chain that comes on it, you know, you're not that much into the trap. But when you start talking about doing base plates and you know, the high dollar chain, and you know, the multiple swivels in it, and the laminations, or you know, clean down to a complete pan swap out, you know, you're up there in price now with that trap. But so that's my thoughts on modifying a trap. Not everyone, but a lot of trappers enjoy modifying their traps, or they prefer to use modified traps. And like I said, whatever makes you confident in what you're using and trust in your equipment just builds you up for more success on the trap line. Because I mean, these traps out of the box are literally designed to hold animals. That's just, you know, 100% fact behind it. They are designed to hold, you know, coyotes, bobcats, you know, otter, beaver, you know, fox, raccoon, everything, you know, as far as that style trap goes. And like I watched a video of my buddy Todd, you know, he explained the 1.5. I mean, that trap, literally, there's not much you need to do to that trap, and it is going to, you know, hold just about whatever gets its paw committed into it. them little Duke 1.5s, I mean, they hold, you know. So I feel, you know, it's a confident thing. It's what you're confident in while you're out there on the line and using it. Because like I said, they are all designed to hold the catch. You're not using like worn out, weak, old, you know, 40, 50-year-old traps anymore. That just pretty much every trap out on the market is just, you know, built to hold an animal quite well. Now, I do all them trap modifications, and then, you know, I sit back and I say, well, I use this trap. And the reason why is I have several dozen of these, several dozen of the juniors, and, you know, I paid a little bit more to have that little bit more of a trap. That's 100% correct. And the reason behind that is, so if I were to go buy several dozen of, say, a number 3 Duke, do all that modifying to them to get them to what I like in a trap, and it's not that it makes that trap worse than another trap. It's, you know, I would simply still do it just for, you know, my confidence booster in the trap and the added benefits of them few modifications. But I saved myself the time and the money in the long run on just purchasing them 2 style traps already out of the box, fully modified, or the way I would like to modify a trap anyways. So it works out better for me and what I'm confident with using. But the other side of it is, man, is it fun. I mean, I absolutely love doing this. I mean, I spend hours just figuring out ways to do things that are just off the wall. Do they make the trap better? Some of them probably might make it worse, you know, all honesty. But, you know, it is just fun. And some of them come out real cool. Like the couple of traps that I've given away. So I end up with a bunch of just random, like a tote full, just random pieces. And, you know, then I turn around and I'll do things like, you know, this is a MB 550 frame. It has the springs off of a K9 Extreme, and it has the jaws off of a 650. Lift this one up, show you. I had to cut the hold down tabs off there and smooth it all out, and actually had to squish these jaws. I had to spread these jaws out because the 550 frame is wider than the 650's frame, and so is the jaws at the jaw tips here. The 650 is just a more ovaled trap than how the 550 is kind of ovaled this way instead of this way. But I am a huge dogless fan, but I wanted to keep pretty much all the 550 here, just the different jaws and that. And for humor, you know, me, if you watch my other videos, I like to stamp the pans with something, you know, that make it different. I call that the HMR 600 because it is exactly 6-inch outside jaw spread now. That's how much I had to form the 650 jaws. And these were 650 jaws off of the trap that I used the frame from to make the first Frankenstein trap. And they were pretty beat up from being ran over, but I did end up getting them pretty straightened out since I had to squish them in anyways, and I got them looking good. This trap's fully functional. It's nice and straight. Everything sits nice and level, and it's a pretty sweet looking trap, honestly. Now this trap I probably would use. I'd like to see what it would do. I had to shave down sides of these jaws, and I had to get it down as even as I could so the trap would close properly, evenly, and have nice superior lockup still. It's got tons of power. So yeah, if you've ever seen a 650 before, I had to change them pinch points there with the debris gaps and that, and the angles of the side for the levers to lock up real good. And then I made the new Frankenstein one, and like I said, I used parts from a Jake trap. Now, so the parts from the Jake trap, I had to use the springs. Well, when I made the double long spring K9 Extreme, which this trap is really, really nice. I mean, someone should, I don't know. I mean, I would even consider making traps like this if I got into the manufacturing of multiple style traps, because I mean this trap is, it's pretty quick and powerful for a double long spring there. Big square jaws on there. That's an added benefit using a square jaw with a double long spring, as far as that spring and that lockup on there, and it being quicker. Instead of it trying to zip up and around, it's a straight motion. So it's just simple physics that makes that double long spring faster. But anyways, so I had to pull the spring pins, bolts, and the springs off of this and the levers. And since I had to use the spring wire levers off of and the bolts as well off of a Jake trap, you can see they're all the same there. I just had to tweak the wire levers to work for the Frankenstein's Big Brother trap there. And I put the K9 Extreme levers, springs on the Jake trap, and then I had to modify the pan. I had to make it skinnier so the levers would quit catching it. And when I first set it off, you can see how big a Jake pan is there. The wire levers are designed to not pinch that. The solid steel levers, when you would push that pan down, it would grab it and the trap would not fully set off. So I had to modify the pan on it. And still, the most important thing with doing all these is the functionality of the trap. And I blew a bunch of that paint off because I just painted this one. Probably should have let it dry and cured a little longer. Oh well, touch her back up, hang her back up on the wall. But, so I'm not really wasting anything when I do that to these traps. It gives me another thing to do. And also, these traps here, these two, will more than likely be given away at some point. Or actually, you guys pick which one you want given away, and I will do a giveaway video on whichever one you pick in the comments down below. And then once we hit 500, really close, and that's awesome. I really appreciate it all. To everyone that has subscribed, watched my videos, we'll give this trap away. It's a MJ Sterling 600. This trap reset the standards for trapping, in my opinion. It's just an amazing trap, and I'll save explaining all that in another video. But just wanted to go over some traps and explain where, you know, all these pieces actually ended up coming together to where not a thing was wasted. So in the comments below. Pick which one of these. Whichever one gets the most votes, we'll give it away. And hope everyone has a good day and a blessed day and tight chains.